Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today I have for you a Denver Roundup. I was just at the Denver show in, of course, that would be Denver, Colorado. I don't know if there's any other Denvers in the country, but you know, sometimes you got to be really clear. And it was really a fun time, and let me give you the lay of the land on a couple things. First of all, thank you to Greg Marcus at Front Range Coins and Currency for giving me his table. Of course, what happened is what I thought would happen. I went, I had fun, and now I'm going to have to take a table next year, so thanks, Greg. All right. And also, to get the 40,000 foot view, I want to talk to you a little bit about flying because I had to fly to the show instead of drive just because of the timing of things. And flying was fine, by the way. You know, flying, if you can fly out of the Tucson airport and you're used to flying out of one of the bigger airports, it's really interesting because the Tucson airport, you actually feel like you're in a abandoned warehouse when you land at TIA. And not in a bad way, though, because I had a friend tell me he likes flying in and out of places like that. And after flying in big airports, I thought, well, this makes sense because you get off your plane and you're to your car in like 3 minutes. It's very different than flying into Denver, which I just want to let you know, because if you've ever flown into Denver or a bigger one, I don't know of a way to really find out easily how to get out of those places. They're quite scary. So you actually have to go down several levels into a train and take the train back to the main terminal, Terminal A, and then find your way out. But I digress. It's a scary experience for us small town folk. All right. So how was the market? Well, a couple things. Let me talk first about the people, and then we'll get to the coin market itself. Thanks for everyone who came by and said hi. I met engineers. I met Hot Wheels collectors. I met Notre Dame fans. I met police officers and teachers and lawyers and voice actors, and it was just an amazing time. And what was interesting to me about this, I also met a ton of great dealers there, and the entire vibe the whole time I was in Denver was one of just friendliness. And I know that sounds strange, but I've been to plenty of shows where, you know, people are just walking around with their heads down and their hands in their pocket, and they're not really engaging. And the dealers all have their heads, you know, you walk by the dealer table and the dealer's just like, you know, look, you know, reading a novel or something. And there wasn't much of that. I mean, most of the dealers were really engaged with the people as I looked around, which I thought was great. And in one other observation, this is a very different show in some ways, in the fact that I didn't see a lot of world dealers, people who deal in world or ancient coins, like I normally do. Now, plenty of guys will still have world coins or ancient coins with them, you know, but the guys that I know that specialize in world and ancient coins really didn't show up at that show, or are not at that show, I guess. Now, there's still ancient coins and world coins to be had, but compared to when I was in Vegas, it felt like I had seen a number of guys there who dealt in world and ancient coins. Same thing was true with paper money. Like, I didn't see many guys, or maybe one or two guys, that really dealt in paper money exclusively, and that was different from the Vegas show, where there was a number of PCDA dealers, the Professional Currency Dealers Association. Let's see if I got that right or not. So that was making the show a little bit different. Now, the show is in an industrial area. One more point about Denver: the airport is like outside of town, so it's like 15 minutes from everything. This site is like 20 minutes from the airport. It's an industrial area. It's actually I kept calling it a meat processing plant, which is not what it is. But there's a stock show where you actually bring their animals and you sell livestock there. And it's this big area, lots of parking, pretty easy to get in and out of, you know, not that complicated. And but I didn't mind the venue at all because it was nice and quiet. You know, you didn't really have, even though it's right off the freeway, you didn't have like a lot of weird hustle bustle, city stuff going on outside. People who were there for the show. You know, you didn't get any tire kickers and looky-loos kicking around because of that. The market itself seems pretty good. I mean, I had plenty of both retail and wholesale buyers for things from a wide array of categories. I will say once again that foreign coins did pretty good for what I had brought. You know, the Mexican coins, and also I had I worked up some really inexpensive Cuban coins, raw coins, and brought them with me, and I sold a few of those, which was cool. I will say I found it's hard to know what to take. I had a couple people tell me or ask me, how do you know what to bring to a show? And I say, I don't know. So I'm trying to get that system better because especially when I'm flying, you know, if I'm driving, I can bring a couple extra stock boxes of items and not have to think about it as much. But flying, you really have to think about what you're not bringing with you. And I have an entire store here I could bring with me, right? So we don't do that. I don't bring the owl and the posters and stuff. You know, which would be fun. Maybe at the Phoenix ANA, right? Maybe we'll bring a big old showcase of stuff. But it was a good mixture of buyers for all different types of categories. Some high-end stuff. I actually bought some high-end stuff, which I also sold there. That did not make it home with me, including some classic type gold from the 1830s and AU55 CAC holders. That I may or may not have a video of those later. We'll see how the rest of the week flows. Also, this week we'll launch a few videos on different things that happened while we're in Denver. We'll have a couple more. I'll have at least one Noops video. And the other thing that I bought little deals, which were right after the live stream on Friday, where someone asked, you know, what do you not want to see at a coin show? And I basically said, well, you know, people bring in like really inexpensive stuff. And really, when I do that in the store all the time, we're happy to go over stuff with people and say, yeah, these wheat pennies aren't worth anything, right? They're 2 or 3 cents or whatever it is. And but at a show, that's a little more than you want to have patience for. But that's exactly what happened to me Saturday. I had 2 different deals like that. I had a guy bring a bunch of pesos in, and yeah, I mean, just like pesos you exchange. So it was that was that was fun. So but I also became like the Soapbox King, the Annex Soapbox King. I bought a really large group of coins that are going to be less than $100 or $150. A lot of stuff in that $30 to $75 range. So we're going to get as much of that up on the website as soon as we can, as fast as we can, and see how that progresses. As I say that out loud, I'm just thinking, I don't know that our new website technology, I'm looking around for help from somebody. Can somebody throw me a lifeline here? If it scans the Annex barcodes like it does the PCGS and NGC barcodes. But we'll find that out real fast because if not, that's going to change the time involved with getting them listed. But either way, we're going to have a bunch of stuff up on the website pretty soon. If it's not already there by the time this video launches, right? So also, what else happened there that was that I had to report? Well, it was the market itself. The big deal, of course, is that while I was there, CAC announced that, oh yeah, we're going to make a grading company. And my take on that is, well, we'll do a video on that in and of itself. But I will say that I actually thought that he was going to sell CAC. I did not think he was actually going to launch CAC grading. I was of my own mind on that. No one had really said anything to me. My gut was leaning one way. And of course, John Albanese has to create coin grading companies because that's what John Albanese does, right? So, good for him. We'll talk more about that. There was a lot of discussion about that from people from both collectors and dealers. I had a lot of people coming up and asking about that, because that's going to be a really big change in the marketplace. It took CAC, I think, roughly a decade to make a big change in the marketplace. But CAC grading, I think, is going to make a change immediately. And we'll see how that goes. Rare coins were easy to sell. Nice looking rare coins were really easy to sell. And that just keeps on being the trend that we're seeing. Of course, some areas of the market have recessed a little bit, have come back down, but we predicted a couple of these things from our video earlier in the year, just about our 2022 predictions. That I thought dollars would come back down, especially GSAs, which were trading at 375 to 400. I saw dealers pricing them at 300 there, and I think that's going to be the new market for a while on those guys. All in all, just a few more market updates. I don't think I'm doing any more shows on the road this calendar year, although I may end up in Vegas for the PCGS show. I haven't committed to that, but that might happen. I'm getting my calendar ready for next year. We're planning on getting set up at the Phoenix ANA, and we are planning on doing some extra fun stuff while we're there. I don't have that all figured out yet, because I'm just talking about it now and we're going to speak it into existence. So hopefully Hopefully for those of you, Phoenix is an easy city to travel in and out of. For most of you who live in some metropolitan area, there's a lot of main flights to in and out of Phoenix, and we'll see if we can't all get together and have some kind of a party, right? So thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. For those of you who saw me there, thanks for coming at Denver. And anyone else wants to add to what they saw at Denver and how the show was for them personally, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I'm Ben the Coin Geek, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks.